provided the 2 howitzers, the fire direction center, the 2 gun sections, security team, and communications assets. My responsibilities were to ensure that proper training and rehearsals were conducted for all the Marines participating prior to the exercise, as well as ensuring that the maintenance was conducted on all the equipment, everything was connected properly, secured properly, so that we didn't break anything during the operation. So there was a lot of task organizing involved because we normally roll in trucks and we transport all our gear, towing these artillery pieces. When you're airlifting them in, you don't have the luxury of transporting the gear by a truck, so you've got to carry everything that you need. Anytime that you've got to conduct an operation behind enemy lines and hit it quickly with a lot of firepower, this is an ideal way to do it. Anytime you're dealing with terrain that you can't necessarily get trucks to tow your artillery pieces into, you've got to use helicopters to get them in. I've done this a few times in my career. So for me, it was more passing on my knowledge and experience to my younger Marines so that they can carry on and do this in the future in their careers.
My name is Corporal Charles Wolf. I'm an MV-22 crew chief at VMM 165. My department supports WTI in many different ways. We help pilots coordinate with planning and mission execution as well. And then we're also the ones that operate out there in the field on the aircraft, completing the mission at hand. Our duties during the exercises and throughout the mission as well, it varies from time to time depending on where we're going to be at inside the aircraft. It can vary from ejecting cargo out the back to loading and offloading troops at various LZs or engaging enemies with the weapon system on the ramp. And overall, it completes the exercise by giving training and making that real life scenario, so when we actually do go out and do it, we have the most realistic view through the training as possible. My support here during WTI is important because we're out here doing the training, we're out here doing the classes, we're learning everything, going through the course, and it's not just WTI and all. We could take what we've learned here and bring it back to our units, and then we could share it with our Marines. So then when we do deploy to those foreign places, we could share the knowledge that we've learned, and it makes us better as Marines and all. What I've gained from WTI as a whole is I've gotten to see the 6 parts of marine aviation, the 6 functions broken down individually. I've learned about every aspect of them. I've been able to see them through missions that we've flown so far. And that experience that I've gained is very rare. You don't actually get to see the whole thing come together and correlate as one unit that often. So the fact I got to see it, it's very enjoyable, and I'm taking a lot away from this exercise, this course so far.
Without water, Marines can't do anything. You can get by without laundry, you can get by without a shower if you have to, but drinking water is an absolute must, and there is no bottled water plant sitting out here at WTI or freshwater well they can just draw this stuff from, so they need this to be able to do pretty much anything else. My name is Dominic A. Saul. I'm with Marine Wing Support Squadron 374, Engineer Company Utilities Platoon. We're out here supporting WTI 2TAC 13. My specific responsibilities are to ensure that the gear is basically operating properly. There's also record keeping to be done in terms of how much water we're producing, making sure that we're in compliance with environmental regulations in terms of the chemicals that we use, as well as running the generators and making sure that the fuel is accounted for and not spilling. Right now we're out here using the TWIPS, which is the Tactile Water Purification System. We're producing about 1,500 gallons per hour of water, from each swim system. We have 2 running right now. This water then goes to the Site 50 as well as all satellite training sites to support them with potable water, as well as allowing them to run showers and laundry. We're producing the water that Marines need to live effectively.
Recently returned from Afghanistan, and this is just as high tempo as when we were overseas. I'm Corporal Flanagan. I'm a Quazo, an aviation ordnanceman. My responsibilities are to ensure that the ordnance is loaded properly and that the aircraft are safe for flight before the pilots come out to launch. Right now, specifically, my shop is elect checking aircraft and then loading the bombs for the flight schedule itself. That's typically what we do on a day-to-day basis. A little more complex, you have a little bit more moving parts over here at WTI, which helps prepare you for going overseas. Is it just the forward breach? We had a station failure on one of the aircraft. We were trying to find a quick solution to it so we could load for the flight schedule. We ended up having to change our load plan a little bit, but it'll go out with the ordnance that the pilot needed.
The Meteorology and Oceanography Division resides within the Command, Control, and Communications Department within MOTS 1. My responsibilities here are just to ensure that all field units and the students at WTI have the best quality of METOC support available, and also that they're informed of pending environmental conditions that could impact their daily operations. Some of the equipment that was utilized during this exercise is the Expeditionary Meteorological Sensor. It provides winds, temperature, wind characteristics, and pressure readings. Here at WTI, we've been using this for the last 3 years to provide field units that are getting ready to deploy the same type of sensing capabilities that they'll see when they deploy. If you go back through history and you look at all the different examples we have when weather was a factor, and how in some cases it was not even considered by those commanders and those decision makers, and great losses were suffered, that we look to the future and we realize that no matter how hard we try, we cannot overcome the physical environment. So I believe that meteorology and oceanography are very important to the Marine Corps, to MAGTF operations, and to aviation operations.
Provide heavy lift support, troop transport, and combat support wherever needed. You know, we're still in Afghanistan, go out on the mules, do it all. Staff Sergeant Angelo Rainey, billet, I'm a collateral duty quality assurance representative for HMH 466. I've been doing this job since 2006, so about 7 years. We're providing aircraft for March to train their future weapons and tactics instructors. So my responsibilities is to ensure the safe operation of the aircraft, to inspect maintenance actions, to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, the aircraft get out of here safely. Some of the responsibilities that the Marines have do the daily turnaround inspections and maintaining these aircraft. What I like most about my job, I'll say, is turning wrenches, being out there with the Marines, provide support to the infantry units, the ground units, to help them out with their training. the past few years, I've gained a lot of knowledge. Interacting with Marines, there's no better job to lead Marines.
Right here is just the basis of what we do. It gets us ready in the mindset that, hey, we're going out here, we have people on the ground that are trying to weed out the bad guys. So we need to take this seriously, make sure that our birds are fully mission capable, that our gear is fully mission capable, and that we can carry out our mission to the best that we can. The purpose of this exercise was to conduct flight operations, to assist with WTI, and making sure that the grunts have the assistance they need from in the sky by providing surveillance, reconnaissance, and laser designation. Also to get our guys some training, some hands-on experience on the aircraft, because out in the field it's the only place that they really can get the training required for them to actually be able to be designated as a plane captain. Some of my responsibilities were, again, to train the newer personnel. Were basically just shadowing me, going around, making sure that they learned from what I was doing, and that consisted of daily preventative maintenance, to be familiar with safety around the aircraft, to making them knowledgeable to how to perform different types of maintenance on the different equipment. Thus far, the experience and knowledge I've gained, just being familiar with how to work on this aircraft, different little issues that might come up as far as troubleshooting procedures, and basically just ensuring the safety of all our equipment, the aircraft, and the flight.
This is the fire sport coordination exercise portion of WTI and Palanex. I'm Major John Burgess. I'm an 0802, currently serving as the Ground Combat Department Head for MOTS 1. The purpose of this exercise is to integrate mortars and artillery with air, and the fire sport coordinator, who's over in the Fire Sport Coordination Center, his job is to integrate all those different assets together to ensure that they are properly supporting what the maneuver commander is needing through the FIST team that they have up on the hill. So he's making sure that rounds are going down in a safe and timely and effective manner. So for this exercise, what you see behind me is the M777 howitzer. In addition, we also have mortar systems off in a different mortar position, and then a variety of aircraft. I think over the last 2 days we've seen AV-8B Harriers as well as Cobras and Hueys supporting this exercise. In country in Afghanistan, this is what the fire sport coordinators are doing. This is who the aviation assets and the artillery assets and the mortar assets, any kind of indirect fire or aviation fire assets, they've all got to talk to a ground coordinator to make sure that those assets are integrated in a correct and safe manner, to make sure that we don't have a blue-on-blue type of incident with artillery or mortar or aviation fires striking Marines or soldiers.
This exercise allows the Marine Corps to show that it can actually pick up any piece of gear and just send it wherever it needs to go. Out here for the HSTs, these pilots need to learn how to fly with an external load. This enhances the Marine Corps' ability to be able to lift up any piece of cargo or artillery and actually get it to where it needs to be in case there's fire support that needs to happen right then and there. My name is Corporal Hibbard. I'm an 0481 landing support specialist, and out here at WTI 2TAC-13, I'm the HST commander. My responsibilities for this exercise were planning this overall mission and ensuring that it can be completed so we can support WTI. In addition to that, making sure everyone can come home safe. Some of the other billets that are being filled by my team were, we have a static man who grounds out the helicopter so it doesn't shock anyone, a legman who also makes sure that the slings don't get caught on any of the gear that the slings are attached to. We also have inside and outside directors and hookup men. who actually physically rigged the slings to the helicopter. I would just make sure everyone's actually doing their jobs beneath the bird and I'm with there one step at a time. If one person goes down, you gotta wave that bird off. And then whatever group that you're trying to support, they're not able to get their gear. We're part of the 04 community. If someone needs something and we have to get it to them fast, like out in the country, it's gotta happen. It's been pretty exciting for the whole team. Like we're actually here beneath the bird rigging it. Not everybody knows how to do it. This MLS is a critical skill that the Marine Corps should maintain.